had some young defenders who were confident, talking about records, things like that. This year you have young defenders who are pretty confident. Cam saying he thinks it's going to be a top 5 defense. Is it a different type of confidence, or is it sort of similar between these 2 years?
I think they're a little more mature. I do. I think it's a group of guys now that they've been together for 4 years. There's a lot of confidence in what we're doing and how we do it. I think certain guys in key positions have matured. And I think with that, it's okay to be confident. But again, you still got to go out and do the work. And that's the thing that these guys have to do is continue to do the work, continue to practice the way they're practicing. And then when it's time to play. And again, I appreciate their confidence. As long as it's not coupled with immaturity, I feel pretty good about it.
What are the things that you see that show you that? Are there specific things on the field, or is it in the meeting room? Where is that?
It is, to say it's only on the field or out in public, no. It's when you watch them do the little things that are important when it's meetings, when they're in walkthrough, when they're in practice. I mean, it's like watching some of the guys right now. Once practice is done and coach is done, you're done. But a couple of guys want to go out and they work with each other. They talk about some of the calls and some of the techniques they can use. They work on catching the balls. I mean, these are things that are going above and beyond what we expect from them. So, when we see, as I walk through and I see, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys still out there working together, on their own without coaches around them, that's impressive. I mean, that's what you want from your guys, and they're doing it on a voluntary basis because they think they need to work together, continue to do that. That to me is just showing maturity.
Ron, when did you start to see that turn?
I would say a year ago when we talked about what they were doing in OTAs and minicamp. You could start to see that practice would be over, and the what could be projected. Say, oh, those are going to be the starting 5 or 6 DBs back there. You see them; they would stay and do a little extra, and they do it on their own, and that was promising, and that gives you, the confidence in them. That says, okay, they get it. They're doing the things that are right. They're maturing the way you need them to, and watching, the way Cam Curl's doing things. That's what you need from a young man that's, potentially one of your true leaders back there.
And then off the field, Jamin missed practice today to be,
Yes.
I guess, in court and all that. I'm curious your thoughts on that. And I think he's still trying to work out a plea agreement or something like that.
Right. Well, he's going through the legal process, and as he goes through it. We just got to be here and be supportive of him and, and understand that this is, the legal process that he has to go through.
Coach, another off the field question. Shortly after you spoke with Don Geronimo last week here, he apparently made some sexist comments about another broadcaster, female. The team took action. The team's radio partner took action. A lot of people were applauding that. Your reaction to all that happened and the reaction to it?
Well, I just appreciate, that we're sticking to the things that we talked about that we would do. And for the most part, we made the statement about it, and I think the statement holds true to how I feel.
Hey, Ron, just sort of a broad question, I guess. 1 week into this, what has maybe surprised you the most about whatever you've seen out here from your guys?
I think first and foremost, I'm very pleased and pleasantly surprised of the way we've had the fans embrace us. I really do appreciate that. Secondly, I love the way the players have reacted to it. I think that they recognize and realize just how important it is to go out there and be your best for these folks. I think that's been big. The next thing has been on the offensive side has been the retention. Eric has thrown a lot at him, and I think the guys have responded and handled it for the most part pretty well. There are some mistakes that do need to be cleared up and cleaned up. Next thing I really do appreciate is defensively, the way the guys have handled some of the tweaks and adjustments that Jack and them have put in. They've handled those very well. And then the whole team aspect of it. Our defensive guys know our offensive guys are going through a lot right now. They're trying to learn and adapt to a new system and style. And you see these guys talking to each other. You see the defensive guys explaining certain things to our offensive guys when something happens in practice. You hear them out, when they're inside, talk about those things offensively and defensively together. Like I said, there is some maturity out here, and I'm really excited about that because I think that's all part of the growth process that we've had to go through, in what's going to be our 4th season now, is that we've got to take steps. We've got to take certain kinds of steps, and maturity has always been one of the things that I did talk about and I do think is important for our guys.
And with pads coming out tomorrow, what are you looking to see? What's the next step for your guys, or what are you kind of most going to focus on with that change?
Well, I think part of it is now is how the intensity will wrap up and how things will speed up, and it's really just about adapting to that as quick as possible. I mean, there's a certain nature that you have to have about you when you step onto the field, a certain grit and toughness that has to be developed through practicing in pads, and we're going to try and do it very smart, very diligently. We'll go 2 days in pads, we'll back off the guys for a day, go out there in shelves again, and then come back in pads for a fourth practice this week, and then they'll have their day off. But the idea again is that we've got to work through this, and we've got to develop that grit that you're going to need to play when you're in pads. And so that's what I'm looking forward to, and again, the continued growing and maturing as a football team.
Thanks, Coach.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.